I'll tell you this, when I started writing, my dream was to have long series like our friend Brad Thor, at the time Vince Flynn or Tom Clancy, having a long series of book. Mark Grain is super successful with his Grayman. That's what I wanted. Brad Taylor as well. That's what I wanted. But they told me it doesn't work for everybody. Your business model is a little bit different. What about we do trilogies instead? And of course, at the beginning, you're like, I wish I could write 10 books about the same characters. But for me, at least, my editor, Liz, turned out to be right. For me, it's much more exciting to create an entire universe every 3 books than writing in the same universe for 10 or 15 books. I mean, it works well for our friends that are doing it. And maybe back of my mind, I still wish I could do this. But for me, I found that writing trilogies, creating more IPs under my name, is what worked the best. And I feel that every new adventure is fresh because it's brand new characters. And honestly, no, I wrote like you for the Robert Ludlum estate. And of course, I was giving carte blanche because I was creating Blackbriar. But I still needed to know what was going on in Jason Bourne's head, and the director of Treadstone. And I guess for you, it was the same thing writing for the Flynn estate. You have so much to remember about all the previous books that were written before the one you were currently writing. So I think this is what's fun about writing shorter series, that you don't have so much to remember.
Yeah, I agree. It's funny. I wrote a series of my first books were a series about an FBI agent. And after three, I thought, yeah, that's enough. I think I just want to move on to something different. And then I did a lot of standalones, not really aspiring to write a super long series. And then, I did three for Ludlum, and then I did the Vince Flynn stuff, thinking I would probably only do three. And I ended up doing nine. Here I am, a guy like you that's like, I don't really want to do a super long series. And so that was like 20 odd books in the series that, like you said, you have to keep track of all that stuff. I mean, you're talking about Mitch Rapp from when he was in college to a mid 40s operator, everybody he's ever known or killed or partnered up with or whatever, what his house looked like, all these things. The house that got blown up, so you have to remember that Mount Weather is gone because he stuck a nuke in it, like all these things. And after a while, it's a little paralyzing. And then the other problem you have with that I think you probably don't have, and that I was worried about if I was going to go past four, is how do you write a book that's going to satisfy both a fan of yours and somebody who just picked it up, right? You can't count on them having read every book in the series and remember them all, right? And so now you're like, geez, do I describe this guy and his relationship with this woman, or do I just kind of gloss over it because people figured out, or I don't want to bore fans with 10 pages of exposition of stuff they already know. You're like
Yeah.
almost like I should write two books, like one for people who've never read one and one for people that have, and I don't worry about this stuff.
Right.
So it is an interesting challenge, and I applaud you being able to change midstream and say, yeah, it's fun to do three and then reinvent the world, because that's what you're doing with the book, right? You're just inventing your own world. You just reinvent the world.